Hey peeps, it's me again. I want to talk to you about a um a dream that I had recently. In this dream, first of all, my dreams have been crazy lately, right? But this one kind of confuses me because it was like I was dreaming about one thing, and then another dream just happened to come in, and I'm like, oh. So let me just read because I wrote this on my actually on one of my Facebook accounts, and I don't know. It's just so I had a dream about a lottery, but the lottery wasn't about money. It was about people, and basically this lottery was about who ends up with whom. But it was a lottery, like a whole lottery, like um kind of like how they do for you to get into like certain well, for kids to get into certain charter schools, um um or even like if they put your name, like everybody take a ticket, they put their name in, they put it in something and they shake it up, and then they pull like a number, and but this was for people, who's going to be with whom, right? But at the same time I was seeing this, I was actually seeing something that was like, it was weird. It was like it's a child, but it's not moving like a human. And so I'm looking like it's on all fours, kind of similar to the way a primate might move, like maybe a gorilla, but it's not a gorilla. This is a child, and it was a baby, but it's like roaming around the house. And I mean like a predator, like something that's really going to hurt somebody, like a predator, like kind of similar to like it was hunting something, okay? And and it was moving around like it was a supernatural predator to me. And that's exactly what I said. I kept hearing that, like, someone saying, "You know this family," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm just watching this baby because it was coming towards me, and I'm saying it because I don't know the gender. Like, so it was just a baby. Let's just put it that way. It was a baby. I find that I keep saying it, but it was a baby. It was supposed to be a human baby, but the way I was viewing it, it was like a supernatural predator. So it's coming towards me, and like for real, I'm feeling like it's like sizing me up. This baby is sizing me up. Like all of a sudden, I'm prey to this baby. Like, and I'm like, hold up, because even when I'm in my sleep state, I ain't one for that with no kids. I gotta say it like that. Look, look. I raised mine, and anybody who know me know that I don't play when it come down to kids. It's like, you be respectful. You don't do this and that. When you leave my home, you make sure that you show that you have manners, that you have some home training. Don't go out there and act a fool, because I'm gonna come out there and act a fool, and nobody wants me to act a fool. Okay, so not on them. So this baby, and I mean this is a baby, like should be crawling, I'm assuming, okay? But it's like moving around like uh uh um an ape. literally like an ape, but this is a human. So it's coming over to me, and it's like I can't even describe because there's a movie. I'm thinking there's a movie where the predator kind of, and I'm not talking about like Kong or anything like that, but it's like it's something that is hunting people down, and I kind of feel like this baby is coming at me like that. So, like I said, I ain't about that. Okay, so I basically I shut it down. I mean, I shut it down. Like I'm looking down. I'm standing up my full height. I told you I'm almost 6 feet tall. I got a baby coming at me like it's coming like what? Like some dude on like some female around the way. And look. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I grew up in the hood, and this baby was coming at me like that. Like that. I was like, nah, mm-mm. So yeah, I shut it down so fast, so swift, so hard. You feel that? You hear that feeling? So hard. Okay. So fast, so swift, so hard. Okay. The baby just kind of sat down. I just calmed down. Just and kind of moved away from me peacefully. Like, okay. All right. I see you here. Cause I was like, what in the world? What? But I lied to you not. I heard a voice, and that voice was like, you know this family. I've been kind of in a hermit stage, so I don't know too many people that's like in my family. Like, I don't even think any of my family have any babies that's like under the age of 1. And so I'm just like, I know this family, but okay, that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, so now we get back to the lottery. I mean, it literally out of nowhere. There was lottery, baby, like just okay, you good, you good. All right, I ain't gotta tear nothing up. I'm looking like yeah, you better not. It's a little butt over there, over here, like you gonna do something. Anywho, the lottery. I was about to say the library. Oh, I need to go to the library, y'all. Like things don't just pop out of my mouth for no reason. I have noticed that lately. Things do not just pop out of my mouth for no reason. I say things, and I don't even know why sometimes. But I'll say things, and people just look at me like, because they don't know what I'm talking about. But they will later. Because if I said it around them, then it's for them. Okay? Don't ever, like, children do that. They do. Children do that. And you be looking at them like, what did you just say? I got a niece who just, she don't remind me of me at all, actually. But she just say things and it's just like, what you just say? And me knowing people and knowing things, and I hear her like she'll say names, she'll say places, and she don't know them people. She don't know nothing about those people, but I do. So, like I said, children do that, and sometimes we as adults we get upset about that. We, but we need to start paying attention to what the kids are saying. And the bad part is that sometimes because they're channeling, and sometimes things will come through them, and it is not necessarily what we would consider as those respectful towards us. It is not always what we would expect a child to say. But before you get mad at that child, before you get angry at that child, before you start chastising that child, take in what it is they actually said to you, even if you save it for later, because they're channeling a lot lately. Let me tell you something. One day, I don't know who I was arguing with in my head. I woke up. At one point, I was having like these bad, more like whatever was around me did not want me to have a good day at work. Now, I used to see my parents do this when I was little, well, when I was young. And I remember that because I've never experienced that. I actually, I raised my daughter on my own. I've never been married. I've never lived with anyone. I've always had my own. They've always had theirs. I've never had to wake up and go to sleep to someone. I saw you when I saw you, and kind of like we made plans, we dated, we did whatever it is that we were doing. But I never had to deal with this. So I can only go by what it is that I saw with my parents. And I remember my mother saying, "You just don't want me to have a good day, do you?" And I remember there were days when she did the same exact thing. Just pick before my stepfather went to work. And I had something around me or someone around me just talking. And they would just pick. I don't know if it was an ancestor. I don't know if it was a spirit guide. I don't know if it was just something that just trailed along behind me because my energy is that good and my light is that bright. But this, this, mm, every morning, nag. I said, "Well, I don't need a husband. I don't need a boyfriend. Cause this right here, that's too much. Like, I'm not about that. I'm not a person who picks on you because I know, like, my occupation, what it is that I do, I can't have a whole lot of distractions. My full-time job, let's just put it that way, I can't have a whole lot of distractions around me. And so I just, I don't do that to people. I don't find that to be appealing at all. I'm just like, why would anyone do that to someone? Because I've seen where children had that at home and they would go to school. My full-time job is a bus driver. And I would pick these kids up. It was public transit in this particular place. And these kids would be so down. And I remember kids being like that when I was young, but I didn't notice it to the degree that an adult would notice it about these children. Some of them, there was no one to even say goodbye to them. Others, were okay. They were just like, school stuff was stressing them because I was picking up middle school kids and high school kids. And, but I remember at first, the other bus drivers were very mean to the children. And I didn't understand how mean they were to them until the kids would get on my bus and they would be like stressed having to get on the bus. They would be stressed. Now, I'm a person, when they get on my bus, at the time, I had a child that was similar in age. And so I'm like, hey guys, how are you? You ready for school? And they're just kind of looking at me like, are you talking to me? That could be a stressful day to have that person, whether it's somebody in your house, that bus driver that's taking you to school. It's a terrible thing to make somebody's start of their day bad. It just really is. And so, like I was saying, this was a you get to the point in your evolution when you realize that you're not crazy. These things, people are treating you a particular way about your gifts, and they're telling you, oh, it's this and it's that. Listen to your own instincts. I know it's not just me. So let me tell you what happened. So I I go to work. I'm in a Chick-fil-A, and I'm leaving out because I'm doing my thing. I got a job to do. And now before I left the house, I'm hearing I can't tell you what this conversation was about, but I'm not the one to have an argument with. Because this Virgo don't like to argue. This Virgo would rather shut it all down than to sit here and have this argument with you. So to actually have an argument in my head before I leave work, and this was happening for like 2 weeks straight. And every day I was like, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm going to work every day. But this one day, see, that's that Virgo too. You keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because you're not trying to do it. But man, baby, when I went off left, I went off right, I went off up, I went off down, as above, so below. I gave it, okay, and I was just going off, and I kept hearing, "No, you don't talk to me like that. I have to go to work. Do not start my day off bad." I remember that saying something to that effect, right? So I leave. I get to the Chick-fil-A. I'm about to leave out. This little girl, she like 4 years old. 4. I noticed because I've seen her at other places, other restaurants, and I remember when she used to be in the mm, when she used to be in the play area when the local McDonald's still had the slides and stuff in it. She used to be in the play area. She was a baby. She had an older sister, but she had to be like maybe 4. So when she walked up to me, I'm assuming that she recognizes me from before. Peeps. This is what I'm telling you, these kids are channeling. She comes up to me, raises her arm up, and points at me and say, "You don't talk to me like that." I said, huh? She said, "You don't talk to me like that." See, I wouldn't listen. I went off because I kept getting the same thing. Someone just going off in my head. And I'm like, what? I looked at her. Now I don't see nothing on her. Okay? But she just a talking. You don't talk. And her mother gripped her up. swung her around and asked her, "Who do you think you're talking to? You don't talk to an adult like that." Blah, 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 blah. Peeps, I turned around, I just walked out the door. I said, ain't this about a whole blip? Now, part of me is like, this had been going on for like 2 weeks. After that, it just stopped. Was it that this is something that was going on in her house and I was hearing it because I had met this baby before? But if that's the case, then why did she just come up to me, point to me, and say that like that? No matter what, no matter how I see it, no matter how I twist it, the little girl's channeling. Okay, because she hadn't seen me in almost a year. No, maybe 6 months. She had seen me in 6 months because I'd seen her at that same Chick-fil-A. So she the other thing I'm saying, so what exactly was talking through her? Like, I had a whole argument, left my house, and I'm telling you, within, because I didn't live that far from the Chick-fil-A, so let's say within 30 minutes tops, this little girl was telling me off. As if to say, I'm gonna come through, you're gonna listen to me. But I will say, because I did let her know, I let a little butt know telepathically, you about to get your butt beat. Like, you about to get a whole spanking. But I just turned around, I just walked out. Like I said, these babies, these little kids, these children, they are, I guess it's easier for spirits and other things to talk through them. But yeah. Um it did stop after that. It definitely stopped after that. But yeah. Well, that's all I wanted to say, peeps. Just pay attention to the babies because they show enough out here channeling. And we're like, what did you just say? Who are you talking to? Right? Show enough. They out here channeling. All right. Bye.